Hey everyone, welcome back to Mikey's Monthly Market Update for July of 2025. Of course, I'm Market Mike Petras with MPRE Boise, powered by NextHome Treasure Valley. And if you've been up late scrolling on Zillow, daydreaming about buying or selling a home, it's time to stop the guessing and get into the real data. This update right here is your behind the scenes look at what is actually happening in the Boise housing market and across Ada County, including cities like Meridian, Eagle, Kuna, Star, and even Garden City. If you live here, are planning a move, or are watching the Boise market closely, this is your one-stop update for the real numbers, real buyer, real seller behavior, and real-time perspective, especially in the real estate space. So here we're going to break down what sold, how fast it moved, how prices are shifting, what buyers are thinking, and how sellers are responding. And most importantly, what does this mean for you? I won't be covering strategy in this video. I saved that for a separate breakdown covering both Ada and Canyon counties. And this month, just like any other month, that strategy video is only for subscribers. So if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please hit it. Please feel free to give me a like, turn on the notification bell, and stay locked in. The full strategy guide drops this week. So Ada County, let's go ahead, let's go. Let's dive into the data. Well, the median sold price for single family homes in Ada County was $580,000 in June, holding steady really with May's $579,900. $100 negligible. But while that month-to-month change is flat, year-over-year growth is still strong. Prices are up 6.9% from January of 2022, 15.95% since January of 2023, and 11.2% higher than January of 2024. Even just since January of this year, the market has climbed 7.24%. The only segment still trailing is our all-time high from mid-2022, and we're currently about 3.7% below that peak. Not much. That's a key trend to keep an eye on. The market has clearly made a comeback since the 2022 correction, but the fact that we've stalled just short of that 2022 peak suggests there may be some resistance forming. If inventory continues to rise and buyers' confidence plateaus, we could see pricing flatten or slow further. Not a crash, but more of a leveling off, which is typical in markets coming out of a spring surge. Let's look more closely at this and break it down, starting with existing homes. The median home sold price for existing single-family homes in June was sitting at $567,250, which represents a 3% dip from May's $585. That pulling back is something to note, especially after several months of consistent gains. But broader year-over-year data still shows strength. Prices are up 9.19% since January 2022, up 15.42% since January of 2023, and up 12.12% as compared to January of 2024. And even with the recent dip, prices are still 7.46% higher than they were in January of 2025, just this year. And compared to the market peak in 2022, existing home values are still only 3.23% below. So here's something your eyes should be on. Existing home prices are showing signs of seasonal softening, which typically happens around midsummer. And if buyer urgency doesn't return, or if interest rates kick up a tick again, this softening could become a plateau. But for now, we're still sitting well above where we were a year ago. Shifting to new construction, the median home price in June was sitting at $624,800. That's a large 8.13% gain from May's $573,990. I mean, bam, where did new construction come from? This gain is absolutely the opposite of what we saw in existing homes. And if we look at the data all the way back, we are still up 5.22% since January of 2022, up 20.21% since January of 2023, up 15.17% since January of 2024, and since the start of January 2025, we're up 12%. Wow. Now, is this kind of a fluke? It probably will be. We'll just hold on for next month. But since the peak, we are still down 12%, which means that builders are staying competitive, but not yet pushing new price ceilings. This is a segment worth watching closely though, because new construction inventory has grown significantly. And if builders continue to release spec homes without matching absorption, we could see more pricing pressure and buyer incentives throughout the summer and maybe even into the wintertime. The balance of new construction supply and buyer demand could still have a direct influence on overall median home sold prices in the coming months. Now let's get into the inventory. In June, we had 2,146 active single-family homes with 1,279 homes going under contract and 853 homes closing. That puts total inventory for single-family homes at 2.52 months, which is still a seller-favored market, barely. But it's far from the frantic imbalance of 2021. And when you break that down, existing homes are sitting at just 2 months of inventory, meaning they're still moving when priced appropriately. And new construction, however, has climbed to 3.76 months of inventory, which is one of the highest levels that we have seen in the last 18 months. That increase is mostly due to completed spec homes entering the market all at once. Builders are clearly betting on summer demand, but if the buyers don't show up at the same pace, that inventory could linger. The widening gap between existing and new home inventory is important. New construction could soon be where price cuts happen first. Existing homes, meanwhile, still seem to have some leverage, but only if they're priced correctly and show well. On the buyer side, the average days on market in June was sitting at 33 days, virtually unchanged from May. Homes are still selling in about a month when they're priced right and in good condition, and that tells us that buyers are not backing off. They're just being a little bit more deliberate. Demand hasn't dropped, but buyers are moving with intention rather than urgency. If that average creeps up in the coming months, it could signal some buyer fatigue or resistance to the current price levels. So let's finish this off with a look at the seller's behavior lately. Well, we had 293 canceled listings in June, a small increase from last month. And that tells us that more sellers are testing the market and pulling out quickly if they don't get their price. At the same time, only 17 listings expired, which tells us that most homes still sell. They just need the right pricing and preparation. The pattern of canceling quickly rather than letting a listing sit and expire shows that sellers are sensitive to buyer pushback and are adjusting more quickly than in the past. So if you're out here in our markets, what should you be paying attention to right now? Well, one of the most important things is watch the relationship between inventory and days on market, especially for new builds. If inventory keeps rising while the days on market stretches past 35 or 40 days, that could signal a shift in buyers' confidence. Also, keep an eye on pricing for existing homes. If the current plateau turns into a trend of consistent month-over-month declines, that could start to pull down the broader median price. But as of now, the foundation is holding steady. And now, here's what to do next. If you're serious about buying, selling, or investing in Ada or Canyon counties, make sure you subscribe to this channel right now. Hit the notification bell because the best strategies for buying, selling, or investing in July of 2025 will be available only for subscribers. In that upcoming video, I'll cover timing, pricing, negotiation tactics, and how to position yourself for success in today's market. But you'll need to be subscribed to access it. Also, if you're relocating to the Boise area or planning to move within the Treasure Valley, make sure you grab my free relocation guide. It's loaded with insights on local neighborhoods, schools, and helpful tips to plan a smart move. You can find it in the description below, or just simply scan the QR code right over here to my left. So once again, I'm Market Mike Petras with MPRE Boise, powered by NextHome Treasure Valley, and this has been your July 2025 Ada County Market Update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in the full strategy breakdown. God bless, and I look forward to the day that I call you my neighbor.